Okay, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me and we can get this thing going. Um, Sorry about the start of that. I forgot to take my meds at 9, and when I'm late on my meds, I get so much phlegm in my throat, and I get these coughing and choking and gagging, and as you all know, okay. What I did, I don't know if I told everybody this because last time I was on here, I'd just gotten my NIV vent. What has happened in this last month? I did up my meds quite a bit. And what I noticed on these up meds is they really cut down the saliva, okay? I was getting so much phlegm and saliva. I was taking probably 3 mucex a day, breaking them in half and taking them about every 3-4 hours all day long just so I wasn't choking to death. And these new meds that I took, I'll show you these. These are kind of, oops, it kind of moved my camera when I opened that up. Sorry about that. I do a web camera because I have a computer. I'm old fashioned, like I said. Here we go. My little box here, if I can get it out of there. Okay. These are called Torch, and they're 5,000 mgs. Now, they have Delta 9 plus THCA, and I even got one that's THCP. Now, looking these up, because like I said, you can look them up on the internet and you can find out a lot of things even on YouTube. Now, on this, I take the A one at night when I sleep because it's not quite as strong as the P one. The P one's a lot stronger. So the P one gives me more energy during the day, and then I take this A one at night. But what I do, guys, is I'm cutting these gummies up into 4 pieces. They're 5,000 in this whole thing, and there's 20 gummies, okay? So I figure each gummy's worth 250 mgs, and I was taking 10 mgs like every 6 hours. So that was 40 in a 24-hour time. Now I'm taking 250 mgs. But you have to realize that I've been on these gummies for 8.5 years, going on 9 years, okay? So my system has built up some resistance. But I was at a point where when I was having all that CO2 on my BiPAP ASV, I didn't know if it was the ASV that quit working. I didn't know if I got worse. Sounded like my lungs weren't any worse. They were pretty surprised over how well they're doing. But you have to realize I've been on a BiPAP ASV machine every night for the last 8 years. That's what I mean. If you don't think you need one, maybe you don't need it today, but it's going to make you stay alive and keep your lungs going, okay? So we'll, we'll just kind of, hopefully you can hear me too. I'm doing this thing. I'm looking at this thing on there. I don't know if I'm talking loud enough. I hope so. I do that. I can't remember what it's called. It's an online site. There's several different online sites for ALS. And they do a voice thing. And according to them, most of the time my voice is half there. I think it's probably because of my oxygen and everything, on there. But you know what? People can still hear me. I can still talk. I'll take my half, okay? At this point, still being, mobile and everything. But here's the deal, when that last month before I got on that NIV vent, I was almost choking to death. I was a mess. I was having CO2. I really thought I was going to probably die pretty soon. And I had to do something drastic. And so I tried these new meds. I happened to just run across this. This was at a vape shop. I happened to go in to see what they had for gummies because I knew I was going to have to up my gummies. I didn't plan on upping them that much, but I guess that's what I needed. And then I just cut, like I said, I cut them in fours, and that's been working really good with me. Again, when you cut these gummies, it's not an ideal science, okay? You may cut them, and one time out of 1/4 of them, you may get 1/4 that gives you a little more, where you think, "Wow, I feel a little higher. I feel more energy today." I mean, I even cleaned my sinks today, so I got a little more in whatever I took. Okay, I had a little more burst of energy. Um, where sometimes I take them a fourth and I can't even make it 6 hours and I'm having too much phlegm. I'm coughing up too much crap. So then I'll take them at 5, the next ones, okay? And that, as long as you do it in that 4 to 6 window, I think you're okay. And that's, I found this was 8 years ago. There was actually a doctor in California saying on the gummies, they stay in your system 4 to 6 hours. And that's what she recommended you take them. Now they're saying all kinds of weird stuff, but I have done well and done what she said, and it's worked. So I just tell you guys what works for me, okay? Everything can be adjusted for you, whatever you need to have adjusted. We're all different. I'm still walking. My phone tells me that my walking is low. I'm going to fall down within the year. It's been telling me that for 3 years, okay? So I know my walking's bad, but I don't walk with a cane or anything yet. But I wear just plain old lightweight flat shoes so that I can walk normal as much as I can. Now I notice my left leg shuffles a lot. I notice sometimes I'll put on these little brace things I got at the dollar store. I just stick them on over my compression socks, and they support my ankles better and my arches because sometimes those cramp up a little bit, okay? So these are all little things to try to help. I go to the dollar store and I buy all kinds of little compression. See, I love these compression things. These things, I can still move my fingers. Look at that. I don't drop as much as if I don't have these on because my ankle or my wrists are weak. But sometimes my fingers are kind of weird. Like when I try to type on phones, I hit different numbers. Passwords are a nightmare for me. Okay, my dexterity is off just a little bit, and I've tried to compensate for that, but sometimes it's hard, okay? Like when I do a little lightweight cooking, I get as much on the floor as I do in the bowl and everything else, but you know what? I'm doing it, okay? Now, most people that see me think I'm fine, but I try to be as normal as I can be. Even though I know I have ALS, I'm not going to let that rule my life, okay? I'm going to respect it, and I have to take care of my body. And my body is in control. I'm not. And as many of you can understand that, okay? But I use my body like we would a dog. I train my body to do things. And surprisingly, it does. Just like going to pee, okay? Every time, like when I sit here at this computer, I look out my big window. I can see the mountains. I play my games and stuff. And I drink, I've showed you guys these before. I drink my water out of here. And then when it empties, I get up, I go fill my water up. I go into the bathroom. I sit down. I say pee. And you know what? I pee. I don't even feel like I have to, but I pee because I can't tell when I have to pee anymore, okay? So that is my clue. Okay, I'm filling my water. I need to go pee. So I go pee and I don't have accidents, okay? One time I forgot to do that and I got a little wet, okay? So I think, okay, I got to stick to my program, okay? With ALS, we got to do what we got to do, okay? So that's one little trick for you. And then let's talk about the other end. Oh my gosh, this is something that I've been seeing on the forums. This is why I wanted to have this tonight, and I've been struggling with it. I go weigh every morning, okay? And I usually have stayed in the last 5 years within 5 pounds of these two weights, okay? All of a sudden, I put on 2 or 3 pounds, which is nuts with the ALS. And I hadn't been going to the bathroom as much, so I knew I was full of crap, okay? So I have done the smooth moves, but that just seems like it just kind of, it's almost like it just runs water through you, okay? But it'll work and keep you from getting constipated, okay? So I'm all for the smooth move. But I used to, when I was younger, have a spastic colon, so I have to be super, super careful. So what I found out, here's the bottle, I'll show you. This is called Emma, and I got it off of Walmart. It's cheaper at Walmart than it is on Amazon. I think I got, my first one was $17 for 60. My second one was only 11, and somebody called me and said, well, is that, did you pay $35 for that? I said, no, where are you looking? And they said, Amazon. I said, go to Walmart and buy it. I'm not promoting either place, but sometimes one or the other is cheaper than the other one, okay, back and forth. So anyway, these are supposed to, the thing that impressed me with them is this Emma was made by a doctor. It is full of vitamins, everybody, vitamins that we need, okay? I read through there and I thought, holy crap, I don't ever have to take a vitamin because it's in this poop pill, basically. And I took this, it says take 2, but I don't take 2. I just take 1 a day because, like I said, I used to have this spastic colon. And now 1 a day, I do that every single day. And then that's helped me be a little more regular. And I actually lost a couple pounds, so I think it is cleaning me out. I'm getting more where I was before. And then what I did last week is I took that every day, and then I took a smooth move tea maybe 2 times that week because I just wasn't going like I should have. And reading the forums with ALS, I didn't want to end up in the hospital like some of you did, okay? I was trying to take care of this myself. So even though I'm still walking and talking and taking care of myself, I'm having the phlegm. I can't go to the bathroom. I've lost a lot of muscle in my stomach. I have nothing to push, okay? That's where a lot of my stuff has been. And I'm trying to think. I do so many things with my ALS. I guess it didn't even dawn on me till the other day, all the little things I do. Even these, you notice these little dresses that I wear. I got these at CVS. They were probably around, they were under $20 a piece. And they're super lightweight. And they're wonderful material. They're like wearing pajamas, but they're a dress. And I have people compliment all the time, wow, I love your dress, And I got these in all different colors. You've seen them on my videos. But you know what? They don't weigh a lot either when I wear them. And they're so easy for me to put on. And I live in Arizona, so it's hot all the time. These are perfect. They're my everyday outfits that I wear. And if you were too tired, you could even sleep in it. I have to be honest, I did one night. I didn't feel that good, and I thought, the heck with it. I'm just going to go to bed in this. Um, but that's, all my clothes are just super easy to get on and off. I wear a lot of skirts, just simple tops, anything to keep my life easy. What I've noticed, like, I started the crying stuff. I have that with my ALS, where some of you have the laughing and some less crying. Mine's always crying, okay? And the last few days were so stressful for me. And all I did was cry, and I couldn't stop crying. So I ended up taking half a Pure with my other meds, and that seemed to help stop my crying with my ALS. But I knew I was ramping super bad, okay? Gosh, I was putting on all my compression stuff to stop my cramping and stuff. And but my bank card was supposed to come. It didn't come till late, in about 2 weeks before they were going to pull out all my auto pays. And then when it came, it was a mess. And when the one got done, the other one didn't work, and some things wouldn't accept it because they had the wrong address from 10 years ago. And I tried to set up my auto pay, dealing with AI. I was an absolute mess. And I finally had to just sit down and say, God, I can't handle this. You can, and I'm going to let you, and I need help because this is making me ill. And do you know what? After I finally gave up the fight, God helped me get things set up again and get things set good. So right now, I think I got everything set up again. I want to talk to you about something else that's been happened to me, and it happened to my boyfriend, and I'm sure it's happened to you guys, okay? With this AI stuff, something is wacky with the medical stuff, okay, and your insurance. Him and I both have two insurance cards, okay? The one insurance card pays, which is the Medicare, and then we have the Medicaid, each of us, okay? So one what's left over when one pays, the other one picks up and pays the rest, okay? Well, some computer or AI got messed up, and this is from 6 months ago. I don't know where. I have been getting bills every day from anywhere from $2,500 to $80 to $20 to, and I thought, whoa, people. So I had to stop and think, just like I did when you deal with your AI stuff and people. It's simple, silly little things that's keeping things from working right. So the big one, the 2,500, I just sent them back a letter because I kept calling and I didn't want to talk to the AI robot because it had no clue what my problem was. And so after about 3 or 4 days of fighting with AI, I say the heck with it, and then I put an envelope and I wrote down my two insurance cards. I said, these are my two insurance cards. They should pay this. And I sent it to them. Now, I haven't heard that one back yet. But the one I got today again, this one was $80. And the lady says, oh, we didn't know there was two insurances. And I said, well, I don't know if it's somebody working in this doctor's office that did not put both insurances in. I don't know if they put them in and the AI computer just gave one. I mean, right now, everybody, this is so crazy. And my heart goes out to all you guys dealing with this medical stuff and this ALS stuff and with the doctors and the insurance and everything. And right in the middle of all this, they wanted me to go be on a court to do the court thing. And so I called the doctor and I said, I can't go sit on a court. I said, I can't even tell when I got to go to the bathroom. And I said, plus if I have a coughing attack, I need to spit my spit up. And then being on all my THC, I don't think that's a place for me to be in. I don't even drive, and it's like 40 miles from me. So finally, my doctor sent something. I found that out today. That's been a worry because that court thing was coming up next week. So I guess my heart goes out to the caretakers and the people with ALS, because kind of with myself, one part of my brain is the caretaker, one part of my brain is the person with ALS, and that's how I've always been. Like today when I cleaned my sink, I thought, wow, my client hasn't kept her sink clean. Well, that's me, okay? But I got it cleaned and scrubbed up. Seems like my brain kicks in when I'm more the caretaker than the person with ALS, okay? But the other thing that's hard, and you guys may have this too, and I want you to check things out too, because we just don't know. Like, it's been so easy for me, every little pain and everything, I just blame on ALS, okay? But, I went and got my mammogram last year. There's a whole video on that, and there was a problem, okay? So we have to, like, I called the skin doctor today, okay? And I've had an squamulus on this shoulder here, and it was down pretty deep. They had to dig down pretty deep with the squamulus, but then everything got okay. And of course, I'm loaded on these THC things, and they healed up my cancer with my breast cancer. So I'm not too worried, but I've healed up 2 spots on my back with the THC cream. I've used salve and cream, and that will actually get rid of some of these spots and stuff on you. I do it all the time. But then a 3rd one come up, I can't even reach it. So I told the doctor, and I've been having more back pain, okay? Like when I lay in bed, one of the questions for ALS people is they say, can you roll over? Yes, but it's hard at times, and I can see why some of us can't roll over, because sometimes my back just hurts horribly, okay? So, but then I read about stuff on skin cancer, and they were saying how you can have back pain and it can be cancer. But I'm going in my 9th year of ALS, so it could be my weak muscles in my back and me setting up and doing stuff during the day, okay? But I will go to the skin doctor and get that checked out, and we'll find out. So what I told her, I said I have to alleviate that, where I've had the cancer problem too, that this isn't anything to do with the cancer. Get that little spot off I can't get to with my THC cream, and keep doing my stuff. And my little Facebook thing just popped up if you heard something, because I play games on Facebook all the time. Yeah, so anyway, I won't keep you guys any longer, but I just wanted to update everybody on going on and what would help. Go to the bathroom. Now, one other thing I've been doing is I've been making a Jell-O, okay, because I've been having trouble. I don't have any appetite. Just all of a sudden, again, my appetite is not there, and I get filled up too early. This happens a lot with my ALS. And so what I do is I buy these 400 bags of little miniature Tootsie Rolls, and I grab 5 of them, and I come over, and they help me drink more water. They make me more thirsty. They help me go to the bathroom more. It's crazy. They give me a little weight. That's how I keep my weight up. Because like today I've had a bologna sandwich. That's about all I could eat today. But anyway, whatever, like I said, I see people like on diets with ALS. What should we do? You know what? Whatever you can eat and not choke, eat it. Don't even worry about diet stuff. I go to get my blood work, and my blood work is stellar, okay? And I eat miniature Tootsie Rolls. I'll tell you, one of my favorite things I make is I make toast. I put a little butter on each side of old bread. I put my old bread in the fridge, Then I take the toast, I fry it in the pan, and then fry an egg and put on top of it. And I eat that for breakfast a lot, and it's yummy. I seen that online and I tried it, and I actually like that. So that's at least something I can eat because there's a lot of stuff I can't eat anymore. But if you guys have any questions, I try to answer. Sometimes it takes days before I get stuff, but I'm just here, like I said, I'm just here to help everybody, to try to help. And the only things I share with you are stuff that I'm doing myself, and it has been working. It has extended my life, okay, with ALS. And I mean, I have days I struggle, but again, I just have the attitude that, I have been so blessed that God has put the right doctors ahead of me. Well, let me explain how God works, okay? Um, like I said, I had that one thing 5 years ago and it's never come back, the squamous cancer. And then I had two more spots that I got rid of, and I got this third one that itches, drives me nuts. When I use my back scratcher, I can feel it kind of, clicking something. My boyfriend said, yeah, there's one of those little pimply looking things back there. And it was itching, and I had to chuckle because God does stuff like that. I'm going to put it where she can't get it, and she's going to get in there and get this taken care of and get it out of there before it goes all through her system, okay? That's how God's always been with me. Even with that breast cancer, my mom died of breast cancer. I hadn't been for a mammogram, everybody, for 5 years because I was bedridden 3 years, and then I had all this other stuff and lost my one love of my life, and then I had to take care of his stuff and get into my little house. And once I got all settled, I thought God just kept bugging me to go get a mammogram, okay? And finally I thought, okay, I need to do this. God's not going to let go. Sure enough, I had breast cancer, but you know what? We caught it early enough. They had already told me it probably spread, okay? But with my meds, it did not spread. They took the tumor out. I didn't have to have radiation. I didn't have to have anything. But this is how even my first mammogram ever found a lump, and they took it out. It was precancerous. It hadn't even turned cancer yet. That's back when I was in my 30s, okay? So God has always been there for me, but I've always been very open to listening, and I don't know really why. I know it's God pushing me to do something and not, and other people can't figure that out with themselves. I don't know, because it's been like this ever since I was a child, okay? So I feel very blessed, and just like getting my NIV vent. That was, oh my gosh, there's a few things that's happened that I had about a 10% chance out of 90 it happening, and God came through always. And I cry sometimes when God comes through because He has been such a blessing in my life. And it's because of God I'm still here. And when God wants to take me home, He's going to take me home. But in the meantime, He wants me to do this stuff that I'm doing, to stay here. If it's to help you, it's to help somebody else, to help whoever. I'm here. And like I said, I put these streams up because I don't know how to do these fancy things like everybody does. I'm just here to get the word out, the message out. And that Kathy Jordan is the one that inspired me to take these gummies, okay? And I just give her 100% credit for all this because she's the only one, everybody, that I found in the whole world that was living past 10, 15 years. That lady lived 30 to 35 years with ALS. She passed away a year or two ago. And she was already in a wheelchair and everything when she started, but she'll tell you it stopped her saliva. It didn't help her not choke. She never got a feeding tube. She never was on invasive breathing that I know of, okay? And she lived 35 years with ALS. So she was my only inspiration, my only hope, and I didn't have a ton of money either. And I watch on these forums I have for 15 years. And the only person I know of, everybody that has made it, are the ones that have taken the THC gummies and the hemp gummies and stuff, CBD gummies. So I'm a truly believer when it's our time, okay? And but I think we're to do everything we can in the meantime to live the best we can. And my whole goal was to take these gummies to live as long as I could. And my other goal is to live as normal as I can, okay? Even though I make so many changes, especially when I'm home and stuff, that I do. And I rest more because I have to. It's like we have a glass full, and every time we do something, the glass gets emptier till we run out. um, and my meds help with that too. And again, I'm drinking a Benny of coffee every morning. That clears my head more. It gives me more energy, and it opens my veins and arteries. I'm telling you, all of you should be having some Vinea coffee or Vinea tea or the Vinea pill, one or the other. I'm all for Vinea, and I think this Emma stuff is really good for us too. It's supposed to help. It's supposed to help heal your colon and everything. And with all the problems with colons with ALS, I thought this has got to be a helper. I'm more, I guess, cheap, natural ways, and it's working for me, okay? So that's what I'm trying to pass on to you guys, okay? But thank you. I love you all. I'm praying for you all. And again, the forums, find an ALS forum that is helping you. And I learn stuff all the time from you guys too, because there's things you do that's working for you. I see stuff and it's like, wow, I make little notes because if I get to that spot, I know what to do because that person had ALS and they're doing it, okay? So we're all here to help each other. We're all here to support each other. I'm not waiting for anybody to find a cure. They have not found a cure in 3 generations or 4 generations of my family. I don't know that it's going to happen. I hate to say this, but I think we need to take care of ourselves. We need to do what we can do, what we can find out to keep us alive. And that's what I do. Now I go see my neurologist on Thursday. I don't even know why I'm going. They can't do anything. The last time I went, they referred me to the lung doctor because that was with my NIV stuff. But I go there every 6 months, just check in with them, and they kind of monitor where I'm going, okay? And I suppose that's a good thing. But I like my online thing that I do. I think I've mentioned that in another video. I can't even remember the name of it, ATL or ATD or something. I can't remember what it's called tonight. Sorry. But that's great because it asks you, can you climb up the stairs? Can you climb down the stairs? Some of those are hard for me because certain stairs, if they're normal differences on the stairs, I can walk up them and down them slow. But if they're off, I can't. It throws my whole equilibrium off. But I say I walk slow up them and down them because I always walk up the same stairs. I got 3 different stairs I walk up every week to see if I can do it and down then, okay? I can't do escalators and stuff, but I try to walk up and down the stairs. And my boyfriend takes me to the casino for a couple hours. So I walk from the parking lot into the casino. I can go from game to game. I walk, but I get to rest. And it'll tell me that I've walked a mile, anywhere from a mile to 2 miles that day. So during a week, I can get in 3 or 4 miles during the week if I go over there. Or we may go to the dollar store and walk around, and it gives me more exercise because my park model trailer here, I have the Arizona room and I do walk around in it, but I don't get a lot of exercise. And in my park, there's nowhere to sit down, nowhere to grab if I was going to fall down. So I don't walk a lot of places. And most of the time when I'm out walking, my boyfriend's there with me. I can grab a hold of him if I was going to fall, okay? So there's different things to think about when you have ALS, and you can still have a halfway normal life, but you have to make a lot of changes and adjustments, okay? Well, God bless, and we'll see you guys again. Bye bye.